TCU is looking for revenge on the road in Austin, Texas. You might remember last season, the Longhorns, ranked just inside the top 25, went on the road and took down the TCU Horned Frogs in their own house. While they were ranked number 13 in the nation, and in doing so upset any bids for Trevon Boykin and Josh Doxson to push for a Big 12 championship or even more, hopes and dreams of a national championship. And the game was really a steal for Texas as they hung on while TCU drove down the field trying to win the game late. But Texas was able to pull up the stop and then throw up a couple of clutch completions, followed by a last-second run by Jonathan Gray that almost ran the clock out. He took a dive, led to the field goal that won the game, and the rest was history. So you better believe that TCU wants nothing more than to come in and upset the defending national champions, who are sitting at number 1 right now and are riding a confident wave into Big 12 conference play, deep into it by now. Instead of Boykin, it's going to be Kenny Hill with 5 touchdowns in his last contest. You better believe that he's coming with confidence as well, and he starts things off despite Texas's 7-0 opening lead here on the legs of Swoops. Hill completes a couple of quick passes to Gilbert, gets the Horned Frogs right down the field into Texas territory, unfazed. But unfortunately for him, Texas's defense, they still are who we knew they were, and they're back. And it's a sack for the Longhorns, bringing a little pressure. We're not used to that. Is this a new look? Surely they're not desperate. But TCU throwing up some prayers. They're lucky that one wasn't intercepted by Dylan Haynes or Jason Hall. Meanwhile, Chris Warren trying to get his game going on the ground. Tyrone Swoops has had his action, and it's Warren's turn now, busting up inside, moving across midfield again. Texas is showing signs that they're going to try to put this one away early. Another first down run for Chris Warren as we close in on a minute and a half. Now a minute left to go in the first quarter. Swoops drops back, and he almost had that one picked off. He somehow snuck it into Armani Foreman. Now it's 3rd and goal. They give to Warren, but he's stuffed at the 1. TCU says, no, sir. We can play the run game just as well. Texas going for it on 4th with the read option. Tyrone Swoops gives it, and TCU was keying on Chris Warren. That was going nowhere. The Longhorns pass on the 3 points. It's still just a 1-possession game. Now TCU on the first play gives it to Hicks. Hicks busts it up the middle. My goodness, is he going to go 95 yards? I hope not. They trip him up out near the 40-yard line. Now just across midfield, it's 3rd and 5. The screenplay to Hicks. Hassan Ridgeway moving so fast for such a big man. Comes up with the defensive hold right there. Swoops moving ahead. Passes on the pitch instead. Keeps it. Gets the first down for the Texas Longhorns. Now 4.5 to go. Warren gets stuffed once again. Chris Warren struggling against TCU. Very strong up front are the Longhorns, especially at the linebacker position. A bunch of sure tacklers who are just stuffing the powerful Chris Warren in his tracks. And TCU really did a good job here holding out the pass rush, but unfortunately they couldn't quite get the pass to drop in. But on 4th down, they faked the punt, and the punter Stevens completes it to Terrence Morley. The punter looking like he's a star quarterback, picking up that first down. But Paul Boyette, he comes through with a nice tackle of his own. And then on 3rd down, they can't complete the pass. A wide open drag. Flies through the air and lands to the turf. Leads to a 4th down field goal attempt. Brings us to a 7-3 contest. And another one probably should have been picked. But John Burt comes down with it. He throws out the stiff arm. It takes almost 3 guys with 2 more closing in to finally bring him down. There's only a minute left in the first half. It's only a 7-3 game. Every little mistake or near mistake, that one probably should have been picked. Every near mistake is super costly in both directions. As it's now 3rd and 3 with 25 seconds and ticking. The completion again to Burt. Swoops is on point so far. First down inside the 5. It's 5 seconds to go now. 3rd and goal. We're going 5 wide. What is this? They're blitzing the house. And Swoops reads it well. He doesn't hand it off to Warren. Warren can't get in the end zone on his legs, so Swoops decides to throw it to him. It's a touchdown and a timely one at that. 14-3 lead for Texas. Offense is coming at a premium in this one. Opening up the second half, Hill can't find anybody open, decides to try to win the game on his legs. He scrambles, gets himself a first down. TCU still moving down the field. Later on, another completion to Gilbert. Griffin Gilbert is definitely a favorite target of TCU in the passing game. Hill with the play action now, throwing down the field, this time to McBride, who's down inside the 15. TCU is moving and marching. Texas trying to respond. They bring the blitz, but they blitz to the wrong part. Kenny Hill with the 12-yard run and a touchdown. The Horned Frogs are on the board on top of their field goal, making it a 14-10 contest with still a lot of time left in this game. A nice run by the big quarterback, throwing out the stiff arm, dropping the shoulder, bowling guys over. The offensive line and the rest of the team was not giving up on that one, blocking to the clear end, and Texas back with it. Gonna have to find a way to get some points or at least flip the field position on TCU if they are forced to punt. Swoops being asked to throw a little bit more. The coverage is tight though. Instead of taking a risk though, he takes the sack, brings up 3rd and 22. Trying to pick up a few of the yards. He completes it to John Burt down near midfield. It's not often that you go 3rd and 22 and pick up 21 exactly. And they have to punt it away. But at least they're able to pin TCU a little bit deep. But the Horned Frogs moving right down the field. Handing it off. Picking up the first down. Now 2nd and 6. The read option keeper to Hill. He busts across midfield. Throws a stiff arm again inside the 45. Hill is looking strong with his legs, keeping the team in it so far. But he makes a mistake. A major mistake. Keying on his guy once again. He throws into double coverage. And it's picked off by Adrian Colbert. Texas with the ball at midfield, trying to capitalize. Finally getting Devonair Clarington in on the action. Their stud tight end. Not a lot of looks for him in this game. He had him open again there, but Swoops wasn't looking his way. Probably should have had an interception added to his stat sheet. But they're lucky to sneak away with a field goal attempt and the 3 points that come along with it. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. This is still anybody's ball game. 17-10. Last year's contest was a fairly low-scoring one as well, in the low 20s. This one could easily end up there as well. Hill back with the ball, trying to win it with his legs on 3rd down, but he couldn't quite get rid of it. If he would have been able to pitch that, it probably could have went a ways. Texas with the ball inside the 50, moving down the field. Chris Warren just can't quite find a rhythm. TCU not giving up on that run defense, trying to keep Texas out of field goal range. The give now to the freshman, Chris Gunn. He's too quick, though. Even if they get to him to stop him, he's already passed and got the first down. And then a couple plays later, as Swoops continues to wear down this TCU defense, it's a touchdown for the Heisman Trophy candidate, Tyrone Swoops. He's had himself a solid game through the air. He's got away with a few mistakes, but he's definitely performing well with his legs. That is a big one for Texas at 24-10. TCU, though, you know they're not giving up. Hill, unfortunately, though, he can't find his way in the pocket. Hassan Ridgeway with a sack. His 2nd tackle of the game. Really, that was a coverage sack. Hill probably could have stayed in the pocket a little bit longer, allowed for his guys to come open or come short or go deep on their routes. But again, he gets antsy feet and scrambles and runs himself into a sack. Caleb Blewett's going to get credit for this one, his first of the game. That's got to be inching him close to 10 on the year, along with Ridgeway. Brings up 3rd and forever. No way they're picking that one up. Brings up 4th and 12 now with just over 2 minutes left to go. Nothing's coming out of that with a 2-touchdown deficit. They give now to Texas with Chris Warren putting it on the thunder thighs of the big man, number 27, just trying to run out the clock at this point with 2 minutes left. The defense of Texas really doing a solid job of playing bend but don't break today. They only came up with that 1 interception, but for the most part forcing TCU into 3rd down and really manageable for the Horned Frogs, but they just couldn't execute. And then even on 4th down, and Texas now wearing down TCU, and Chris Warren gets the big carry that's going to put him over 100 yards on the day, and it's going to ice this one for Texas. It was close up until the 4th quarter when Texas put it away. Tyrone Swoops with 3 touchdowns on the day. Just a solid performance. No one really blowing it out of the water on the statistics side of things. Chris Warren, it took quite an effort to get him over 100 yards rushing. There weren't a lot of sacks. There weren't a lot of pass deflections. It was just solid defense, guys in position. This was really a game of management. Only 87 on the ground for TCU, 164 through the air. Only the 1 turnover, but Texas just owned the time of possession. They just would not give up the ball in this game. Again, Tyrone Swoops with his 3 scores, 16 of 21 through the air. A great job there. And Kenny Hill, not a bad game in his own right. He just couldn't quite find guys down the field, and late in the game got antsy feet and just wasn't quite patient in the pocket. And just a solid win for Texas. We've got games against Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and Baylor yet to play. So this next one against Kansas State could be one that the Longhorns might overlook, but they've got to be careful. Kansas State is a team that loves to pull the upset, especially when teams head into Manhattan. So check back soon for that. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you then. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, or share the video below. Subscribe if you haven't. And next time you're shopping online at Amazon or eBay, use the links I provided in the description to help support my channel. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.